Good morning, folks. Welcome to Late Night Gaming's coverage of the Adepticon Star Wars Unlimited Premier Tournament held at the same Baird Center where we had a regional just last month. You can find coverage of this tournament on Late Night Gaming's channel as well as Take the Initiative and Blue Milk Gaming. I'm Grumpy Elephant from McClunky Gaming, joined here for our round one from Victor of the Nordic Takedown. We're going to be commentating round one of this exciting tournament. Victor, how's it going?
It's going great, mate. I'm so excited for this. Adepticon is such a huge tournament, huge convention, I guess. And having some really good sweet tournaments over there is just so good, so cool.
Yeah, great sign for the game. We're going to get going here with our round one feature match. It's going to be a Colonel Yularen Aggression Splash paired off against a Major Vonreg Cunning. Both fast decks, both decks trying to close the game quickly. So we'll have to see who can come out of the gates a little bit stronger.
So we have the new two tubes coming down for Yularen. It's a red-green unit, so it's perfect for him. It's really quick. It can actually trade for up to 4 since it pings a unit when on attack, but only on ground units. And the skip P that we have for the Vonreg player, obviously not as fast right out of the gates, but it's got 4 health, so it might stick around for a while.
Is that experience token on the two tubes, and it's the Darth Vader pilot on the Sheathapede. And while it keeps the damage race even going into the 4-resource turn, my one concern, Victor, is that Major Vonreg's not going to have a ship to flip onto. This Vonreg deck really wants to get that +3/+3 pilot upgrade on the 4-resource turn to really jam through as much damage as quickly as possible. But because he's put his 3-resource turn on his 2-resource play, that means if he wants to get that Vonreg damage into the base this 4-resource turn, Vonreg's going to have to join the fight on the ground, and all of a sudden that's going to give the Yularen player the ability to interact with what the Vonreg player is doing if he so chooses.
And here we see the Yularen ability come into play. That he can actually attack the experienced guy gets killed. On the other hand, the experienced guy getting killed will allow him to flip Vonreg onto ground. No. How does that work? That's a one.
I believe he's attempting to put I believe that was a pilot, is it not, on the Sheathapede already?
I think so. No, right, yeah. They're both on the same plane there, and they really shouldn't be. So he's killing with the Vader ping, I suppose. He's killing the ground unit here, and we're getting another we're getting an experience from the when defeated ability onto IG-88. That's the new IG-88 with it's a 6/3, I believe, shielded. The interrogation droid tapping the CTP down for a round now, which is, I guess, hurting him having gone so tall with that unit. We see a Beguile bouncing the IG-88 to hand, but we do, and so we get to see the hand, of course, as well from the Beguile ability, and that is not a huge hand, but even so, that aggressive negotiation next round will be able to do a lot of damage because he can just he's on 5 already, so he doesn't necessarily need to resource, but he's using it right now for a 3 extra buff, I think that is, attacking with the already buffed 2 tubes and getting his opponent to 19 damage here. It looks like the Yularen player is well ahead. I think the Yularen player is Atomic Floof, how that's supposed to be pronounced, which is also we got Jeff, I think, on the on Vonreg.
Player had that interrogation droid able to tap down that massive threat. That's going to let the Yularen player creep ahead in the damage race, right? Stopping the hit from your opponent's biggest unit, able to deploy the Yularen leader now on this 5-resource turn to bring to bring this Von Reg to 23, that's going to be threatening lethal as soon as first action on the 6 resource phase. So it's going to be putting the Von Reg in check much faster than the Von Reg has been able to put the Yularen in check, saving that damage from the interrogation droid. So despite that hiccup there potentially on getting multiple pilots on one ship, the Yularen player able to respond very nicely, understanding what cards in their deck that splashed interrogation droid can stop this aggressive onslaught, and nonetheless, likely it looks like they're in a good position to take away this game 1.
Right, exactly. And I also think just having access to the flip here, he's going to get to do another. But we do have a bit of a break in the gameplay here, which suggests to me that there might be a judge or something on hand here.
Yeah, trying to resolve potentially this double pilot issue. Unfortunately, that double pilot happened on 4 resources. That's situations like this. They ask, can we rewind the game state to essentially recreate what the game would have looked like without the illegal action? At this point, it's very, very difficult to do that. So many things have happened. So it's going to be a tricky one for the judges and players to navigate, right? Everyone wants games to have integrity. Everyone wants games to be played out according to the rulebook that exists. Of course, no suggestion of ill will or malice here, right?
No.
Lots of complicated rules, very easy for players, particularly if they're players newer to the game, to not be aware of certain interactions. And so it could be very much an honest mistake, but nonetheless, it's an honest mistake that unfortunately throws everything that's happened in the game after it a little bit in
Right
question.
out the window, yeah. And it's kind of weird because if you try and rewind now, we're gonna end up in a very weird situation for Atomic Floof because of how she's already revealed some of the cards she's got, and she used the interrogation droid to sort of mitigate things. Well, does she get to replay that? Will she use something else? Because it's way less of a impactful play. It's not also on that ship, right?
It looks like here's the proposed solution. The proposed solution is to take that Von Reg pilot off of the unit, put it in the ground arena. It would have been able to deploy in the ground arena on that 4 resource turn. And because it had attacked in as a +3/+3 pilot, they've actually reduced the damage on Yularen's base by 1 because attacking as a ground leader would have only done 2 damage. Now, it unfortunately may actually benefit the Von Reg player here because now the ground Von Reg unit is able to crash into the interrogation droid and defeat that.
Exactly. Then that's kind of what I was thinking about when I said it kind of benefits any rewind situation here sort of benefits the Von Reg player because of just how well Atomic Floof were able to respond to that huge tall unit in the sky.
Yeah, even the current board state, though, it looks like this Yularen might be able to take away the game because they are still going to get that Von Reg to 23, as we talked about. And there's still a total of 8 power now. Yularen able to do that action compression attack in with both the Yularen and the 2 tubes in one action. And the Von Reg leader right now, not enough to take out the 2 tubes because of that +1/+1 experience. So the Von Reg player is going to need something in their hand, some kind of pump potentially to crash that Von Reg into one of those units to defeat them. Otherwise, game 1's going to be over very quickly.
Yeah, exactly. Being able to go to 23 for the 5 resource flip turn there really puts the Von Reg player in a bad space. I don't know if Jeff will be able to answer that. Of course, in yellow there are a ton of tricks that could answer it. Lots of tap, some bounce. There are ways that he could probably find this answer that he needs, and he did claim. So
the Von Reg player, of course, starting with it looks like a total of 9 power on board. So that's going to be able to, if everything goes as goes well, going to be able to bring Yularen to 24, assuming he can deal with Yularen's units. That means there's just 3 damage missing from the Von Reg player to close the game out this turn.
Right, exactly. So that is a misplay for sure, though. That is lethal, right?
Yeah,
At
it's
least in the
perhaps
game.
missing the Yularen action compression ability, right? Getting that 3 damage. We talked about the sudden ferocity. All of a sudden, the major Von Reg player does have lethal, but it's just simply going to take too many actions. The action compression from Yularen there really coming in handy to close this game out, despite some earlier hiccups with respect to that pilot rule.
For sure. Hopefully we get a clean game 2 here. We do go to sideboards here. Is either of these decks something you're familiar with, Grumpy?
You know, I've seen Yularen decks sort of splash in and out. Of course, Yularen was a absolute powerhouse in limited format when he
Mm,
was around for that. Never really
absolutely.
took off in constructed, but I do know that players are trying right now to find some kind of aggro avenue. People thought that the new Sebulba lead, some pilot leaders, of course, Kazuda, Vonreg is that 4-cost pilot leader on the
Mhm.
villainy side of the aspect table. And then Yularen, although he's a 5 resource to play, that action compression shows us just how quickly these games can end. So, you know, I'm familiar with these decks. I know that folks are trying, particularly folks who, you know, were Sabine players through and through for the first
Yes.
6 sets of this game. They crave that fast-paced, high-tempo, crash damage into base style of gameplay. And unfortunately
Yeah.
for them, I don't think anyone has quite yet cracked the code for how we're going to get true aggro post-rotation.
No, not really. I mean, with aggressive negotiations, pretty much any deck can go really fast, but true aggro, as you're talking about, not really, right? They're just tempo decks, most
Yep.
of these decks.
Exactly. Well, and with aggressive negotiations, these decks are often playing cards that provide card draw to
Right.
inflate hand size. And when you're playing cards that provide card draw, inherently they're going to be a little bit understated with respect to sort of more true aggressive cards. So you are giving up a little bit of aggressive power early to then end the game with these massive +7, +10, +12 swings. So it is, as you say, it's a little bit different than true aggro from what we're used to. And I
Right.
know that there's, you know, a healthy subset of our population that does miss that feeling.
Right. Having to actually interact with your opponent is somewhat daunting to some players. Now, given that we're not too familiar with either of these decks, we're not absolutely going to be able to guess that much about the sideboarding that went on here. But we do see opening place here with an interrogation droid from the Vonre player that surely isn't what he hoped to open with. And into 2 tubes, they can of course trade, but 2 tubes will still ping the base for 1 if they do trade.
Yeah, that interrogation droid, probably not what the Major Von Reg player wants to see. It's going to die into almost anything. Luckily here for the Von Reg player, it can trade into this 2 tubes. So we're just going to sort of have a clean board now going into the 3 resource turn.
And then we see from Atomic Floof that they get the experience 3 cost here that isn't able to put an experience on itself because it can't, and there's no other unit to put it on. So that's almost as much of a miss as that interrogation droid originally. We do have Von Reg's TIE Fighter there, which is going to be quite good into if you can deploy onto it.
And I think that's not Von Reg's tie. That's the new 3/3 unit from the Lawless Time
Oh
set that
yeah, yeah,
synergizes
yeah.
so well with Sebulba. Unfortunately for Von Reg,
Right.
no way to discard cards from the deck, so that's not going to come in with a shield, but nonetheless will provide a ship for this Von Reg to pilot on the 4 resource turn.
Right, right. And if it does hit something, it gets to tap something down, right? So still very good tempo.
Yep, but it can only deal that 1 damage to space units, and as we saw from game 1, this Cornelia Yularen likely going to avoid the space lane entirely.
Right, right. Okay. Me not being too familiar with some of the new cards here, apparently. uh, well, we do have a Beguile from Jeff there.
This is the Yularen deploy turn, so we're going
Mm,
to be adding 4 more power. The Yularen side of the board, all of a sudden that's 10 power that's going to become crashing into the Von Reg base, and the Von
mhm.
Reg facing that down with an empty board.
Not ideal. Still 5 open resources and what looked like a fairly hefty sized hand. 3 coming down for that's the snub fighter tapping down the 6/4 now. So only 4 damage coming in, saving himself quite a bit of damage there. And a shielded, the 2/2 shielded in space.
Yeah.
Rebuilding that board.
Still very much a live game, I would say. Very much advantage in the Yularen side of things, just with that 10 power compared to the
Mm.
4 on the Vonreg. But if you stack enough, exhaust and disruption effects together, maybe another Beguile onto that 4-2 unit, you can potentially claw your way back into the game because the Yularen has chosen to start this game with a 3 health disadvantage. Yularen playing that splash base, one that a lot of folks tried in pretty much every deck they're building. It's this new direction to take deck building. Can we include off aspect cards that really push our decks to the next level? The Yularen players said yes, cards like that interrogation droid, but that means that they're coming in with just 27 HP, so Vonreg with a little bit less of distance to go to close this game.
Right. So we have the death something ship that gets to tap down Yularen, and then an interrogation droid to tap down the droid. The droid in the meantime got a sudden ferocity on it, as did Yularen in the end. So we've got two really big units on the ground, and a bunch of smaller, I guess, on
Yeah.
in space. But with the tap effects from yellow, having these tall units might not benefit the alarm player. But we got to attack with both of these now probably because of how the alarm ability will be able
Yeah.
to
And
fire
that's
straight in.
Victor, that's going to be 16 damage to the
Yeah,
Vonreg base. That's going to bring the
yeah,
Vonreg base to 25. That's going to make any attack next round absolutely lethal, which means Vonreg is going to need something, but it might. Is this lethal right here? We have the aggressive negotiations we've talked about.
right. Depends on the cards in hand, but only three cards in hand, I think. So not lethal, very close to lethal. 28 if I'm not miscounting.
Only 9 damage on the board, or
Right.
completely clear the Yularen board. Also hard to do given how beefy that Yularen leader is. An aggressive.
Use on the big 3-cost unit there, but the interrogation droid will still be able to finish the game. So unless there's something in hand that can deal with the interrogation droid as well, this game is over.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to go to the next resource phase. So just like game one, Yularen is going to be able to finish things off with the first action of another action phase, and that is going to be our first match likely in the books.
Right. We do have a backup table, so we might be able to bring you another game here, but it looks indeed like every game. That is a really fast deck.
Yeah, the ability to do combine sort of high statted units, right? Sort of 3-2, buffed by that 4-2 droid to give experience, buffed by things like Craving Power and Sudden Ferocity. You combine that natural aggressive power with the action compression of Yularen. Yularen's action compression allowing you to attack with 2 units at once, so long as their respective costs are different, means that once you get your opponent in that check range, sort of close to lethal, you're able
Mm,
to close the games out surprisingly quickly.
right.
Very well played by this Yularen player.
Yeah, for sure. Uh, I'm not sure. Atomic Floof was sporting some late night gaming tokens and stuff. Might be part of the late night gaming crew, or at least somewhat affiliated to those guys. Yeah. So we get confirmation from our producer that indeed she is with the late night gaming crew. Right. So we are going to go to the backup match. We don't know much about what that is. So it looks like we have a.
Notice here, Victor, look at this. This is
Mm,
interesting. Kazuda has joined the battle on the ground arena. The lone ground unit across both of these players' boards is that 2-5 leader for 4, chipping in for 2. But it seems like, based on this board state, the Kazuda player has been able to control very nicely what this Vader
yeah.
player has been attempting to do. Focal interaction by playing something on your opponent's side of the board, that Kazuda
Mm,
leader able to simply blank that ability either from the leader zone with its exhaust action.
Better play is way behind on the race. Ryan is, and the board state is not great.
Yeah, this double plot certainly helps a little bit. We're going to get 2 spy tokens from this Chancellor Palpatine. We're going to be able to
Mm.
exhaust a unit from this lurking snub fighter, probably
Hmm.
that Kazuda to prevent Kazuda from turning off the Galen Urso, but still a lot of space threats that Kazuda can crash into base with. That stolen AT
Right.
Caller looks like it's got either a Han or an R2, so crashing in for 5 or 6. That Eben Hawk potentially able to crash in for 5 with Vader sitting at 21. It may not matter that
Mm.
he has this powerful flip and plot combination.
Right, right. It's hard to say what pilot it is. It doesn't look like R2 on the hauler, but it is a +1
I can
plus
see,
1, right?
no, I can see the hands. I believe it is Han Pilot, and those numbers might just be a little bit blurry.
All right, so it's a +2 plus 2, taking us to 21 damage on base there, and we've got, is that 13 damage on the Kasuda base, on the blue
Yeah, the
base there?
Vader able to crash in that +5/+5 on that 2/1 raid 1 means that there's 8 more damage now to Kazuda's base, bringing Kazuda to 17. The damage race looks like it's evening up, but we know that there's many attacks to be had still from the
Mhm.
Kazuda side of the board.
Yeah, that's the fireball coming in before it's killed off. I do believe if I were the Vader player, I'd been very eager to trade with that fireball with one of my smaller units. But apparently that was not the priority of the Vader player here. He was trying to get some kind of damage race going here.
Yeah, and they are going to scoop up this game 1. The Vader
Yeah,
player acknowledging that there's enough power in that space arena to bring through the final 6 damage,
yeah.
which means if this was game 1, we're going to go into game 2. If this was game 2 and the Kazuda player won game 1, that's going to be a wrap for the match. If this was game 2 and the Vader player won game 1, we will be in for a game 3
Right.
for Kazuda. So congratulations in our first feature match. We saw the 4 cost pilot leader not able to get there against that Colonel Yularen aggression, but Kazuda has redeemed 4 cost pilot leaders, able to take down this 6 cost pilot Vader in a best of 3 match.
Right, right. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I do think that staying put. Two from Adepticon. My name is Victor from the Nordic Takedown, and with me, joining me for round 2 is Sharky from Colorado Cantina crew. Welcome on.
Hey, thanks for having me. This is gonna be a fun one,
isn't it? These are slightly more meta decks than we had in round 1. We have Lando Blue, which is shaping up to be the grindy sort of heroic grindy deck style, and then we've got Luke Yellow, which is certainly at least tempo, maybe even combo. Depends on what they got in the deck there.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited to see that one. I'm pretty sure I can guess what's in the Lando deck based on, we've seen a bunch of those the last couple of weeks, but it's cool that there's like 4 different branching paths you can take that deck. And typically we see Luke with Data Vault, so yellow will be an interesting one to see what all they're including here with the yellow side. It's not a splash base though, so no shenanigans outside of the colors here, but there's plenty of interesting tempo things with yellow.
Yeah, generally speaking, they don't. So we are getting some information from our producer here that Laura playing. I think she's playing the Lando deck. No, that's Laura on the Luke deck. Laura on the Luke deck is the TO from Misty Mountains, which I've had the privilege to cast a couple of times from the store Misty Mountain, and we are apparently casting again on Late Night Gaming. I might be on it, I don't know. How about you, Sharky?
That's a time frame that I'm a resounding maybe for, so we'll find out closer to that event.
We will know. At least it will be on this channel and probably on all the channels that are streaming this one now, including Blue Milk as well. Now, like we were talking about, the Luke Yellow deck, it generally speaking doesn't need a splash base, maybe to play the pilot Shui, but other than that, they are usually on the yellow 30. With Lando though, you do see both splash bases and the regular 30 health, and even sometimes you see people do Colossus in Lando, which I'm kind of sort of not looking. It doesn't look good to me to do that, but I don't know. I'm not.
It's not how I would do it, but I saw the merit of it. It's just a matter of like, 5 extra health to get to the Liberties, to the Bo-Katans, the whatever you have on your top end, right? But the lack of a card is something that at least drives me a little crazy. So
it's so expensive. Even in the old pulp from Sparkle Rebellion, where you did have the amazing card draw, it was still very punishing to start off with just 5 cards.
Yeah. Sometimes it works great, and then a lot of times it's like, oh, I didn't draw what I needed to. Oh no.
Right. Seems that they've resourced and are ready to go here. Just waiting for time maybe to start. Could be.
Oh, there we go.
Here we go. And we have a Naboo fighter. I think that is the Naboo fighter, the 3-2 in space.
That's a good start, I think.
Solid opening if he's expecting to race with the ground based deck mainly. If you're trying to contend for space, then it's not as good. But this deck, it looks like he might not even have a real turn 1 play.
Oh, that's a cool play. Okay.
Yeah. Just getting to shuffle that back in.
Yeah, and get an X-Wing out of that, right?
X-Wing token, yes. So
that's going to be good for Lando. Yeah.
Which
I can understand where Luke was coming from with that, trying to be like, all right, let's race as fast as we can to
secure, because he really needs to have his space intact for the flip turn. This deck is all about the flip turn.
I agree. It'd be interesting to see how Luke handles this. And
so we do have the death blah 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 that gets
the Death Space
down.
Skirmisher. I got you. I used to run that card in a different deck.
right. And that's exactly the kind of card he wanted to see here. Just get the tempo going, keep up the race, be able to hit for 3 into the Naboo with the Naboo fighter, but not to be, because of the credit generation. He can play that 4-cost already, bounce the Naboo fighter.
Yeah, Cannon's a great play here to help keep tempo from getting out of hand on the Lando side.
Right.
Plus, the restore 1 is pretty massive, so it's going to end up being a tough one for Luke to race. He's going to have to start interacting, I think, with both ground and space here just to keep a handle on the game.
Right, yeah. I do think if this is indeed the combo-y version of the deck, he's still in it. He's got to resource that sudden ferocity to get that up, and we still haven't seen any of the big one, the big yellow 4/5, 4/6 that gets boost.
Oh yeah, the Black Squadron.
Yeah, the Black Squadron, right? That's the one, yes. Which is kind of the combo here, if that's what it's trying to do.
Pushes a lot of damage.
Right,
looks like Luke is going to use that ability to keep the X-Wing in check, hopefully knocking it out next turn. I believe is what they're planning.
And obviously, since he can't really take out the Death Squadron skirmisher, he's just going base there.
There we go.
Yeah, that's enough. That's 4/4 that gets to ping up to 2.
Some of the decks that we've been messing around with involve playing like they hate that ship, and that's actually my favorite ship to pull from that kind of a combo. And I wonder if that combo is also in this Luke deck.
Could be.
Or if it's just the B-Wing is good.
Yeah. So he trades out the Death Squadron skirmisher there with the Fireball, which tells me this Lando deck has more space than we're used to seeing from most Lando Blues.
And Lando's got the 2 restore combo down there. That's going to be really hard to push the damage through without some kind of bounce or way to eliminate one of the 2 of those.
And I mean, you don't really want to bounce Kanan. And bouncing Yaddle is not very impactful. If you're paying 3 for a Beguile to bounce a 2-cost unit, you're not doing that great.
Yeah, it's not the best. So my only other thought as to what they could do. So yellow has most of the bounce interaction. If there's enough red in the deck, you could run Charged with Treason, I believe, and do 5 damage to one of the 2 of them. But the benefit of the green version tends to be air superiority, which helps control the ground lane with that too. But I don't know what you do else in red yellow.
So what you could do is you could do some of these decks run Sabine unit on the ground to ambush for 3, just to kill Yaddle mainly.
That makes sense.
Because then you can kill it with the Luke ping.
Yeah, it's not the most efficient, but it does get the job done.
It does. And sometimes we are seeing some damage go to base here, but in a way, Lando is actually ahead on the race somehow.
Oh, yeah. Lando's both ahead on the race. Effectively has restore 3 between the 2 units if you sequence it correctly. So Luke has only been able to push 1 damage from the units they have. And I'm wondering how much of this is just set up for as big of a flip turn as Luke can get.
Yeah, and he's trying to go wide here for some reason instead of playing a big ship. And that's a little bit dangerous because of the tree remembers. You can't really flip Luke into anything that costs less than 4 against the blue deck.
Yeah, I mean, the good news is the B-Wing is a good target there still. However,
if it's tapped down or killed, So it's and I don't know about playing a blue leader in space without actually ambushing and as a 3/3 doesn't feel too great, does it?
No.
And we do get another X-Wing token here.
There's a lot of patrols being commenced here.
Yeah, indeed.
That's a lot of getting the same one on that one.
Right. Unfortunately for the Lando player, Luke is going to be able to flip onto the 4-cost before he can do anything. Did we ever see a Cinta go down in the resource row?
I have not been able to see one yet. That doesn't mean there isn't one. It just means I haven't been able to see it. So
he has not resourced that Southern Ferocity. It's still in his hand, which makes me think that he has a Cinta in the row. And he wants to keep the Sudden in his hand instead.
Yeah. The B-Wing is still it's a great ship. It's a 4/4 4-cost. Does a lot of tempo here and survives the tree remembers. So I'm expecting that to be the target flip for Luke when Luke does flip. But
yeah.
see what we
And
got here.
he'll be able to wipe out one of the 2 X-Wing tokens immediately, but then the other one can trade with the Naboo fighter. And
True.
he's still got those 3 restore on the ground, so maybe you want to wipe out Yaddle instead.
Yeah, I think that's what's being debated right now. Is do you flip and wipe out Yaddle? Do you run red 5 and put extra damage on Yaddle, then ping, take her out? Like, there's a couple of different sequencing options here, I think, but I'm not sure any of them are particularly good.
Yeah, flipping onto red 5 here is so dangerous.
Oh yeah, no, I wouldn't flip onto it. I would just straight attack with red 5.
Yeah, okay, yeah, all right.
If I had,
it is a line of play, and sometimes
your hand kind of dictates what you can and can't do. So it may just be this is the best option of the available. And props for just coming up and blowing things up.
Yeah, that's never too bad. And I mean, between the on attacks here, he can do 5 damage. So he can just take Kanan out at least, which is taking 2 restore off the board, basically.
That's a pretty big deal there. You just have to kind of hope Lando's not holding on to Liberty, and you're probably at least okay.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Also, of course, True remembers his year's going to blow out here, but he did get 1 swing in for what is that? That's 8 damage to base at least, or 7.
Yeah. 3 and 7. Excuse me.
7. And he's still got 4 coming from the B wing, and I'm assuming the Naboo fighter won't live to crash into to base it.
Probably a good assumption, though. You never know. Yaddle could be considering a use Yaddle now, but I'm not really sure what other interaction there would be from the Luke side. So Yaddle's probably safe for a little bit. I think my move would be to crash into the Naboo fighter.
If you've got Liberty in hand, you could argue that you want to flip as soon as possible, right?
I would think so because of the Sentinel, yeah.
But doesn't look like it. And he did prioritize Yaddle. We are not able to predict these players very well.
We are not, which I guess they're going to try to take out the B-Wing with the 2 X-Wings, which is fair. It's a strong unit.
Yeah.
Bo-Katan. Oh, that's really good.
Oh, that makes sense now.
Yeah.
That's why you want to do it that way.
That makes sense.
Yeah. Gets 2 experience tokens onto Lando, you can assume? No? Oh, yeah, he's putting in
space. Go fight in space. All right.
Interesting.
He's just going to push damage now.
Yeah. But he's not. Okay. What?
Okay. Going to take out. That makes sense too, because now Luke dies, actually.
Isn't Lando only 4 power?
Yeah, but Bo-Katan giving the -3 across the board.
Oh, right. Yeah. I forgot about that. So,
I'm a little surprised the X-Wing didn't attack Luke.
No, does Bo-Katan give -3 to leaders?
Oh, it might be on later, and I'm totally forgetting things. So I still probably would have attacked the base.
It does. It does.
The X-Wing just didn't attack, and that's interesting to me.
He No.
Yeah, I think I don't know if it was a play mistake or if it's some kind of 4D chess that I'm missing, which could be either one.
I mean, he should have claimed, right? And they just forgot to move the token, right?
I believe the Luke player claimed, and then Bo-Katan came down, and Lando did Lando things, and then I'm assuming forgot to attack with the X-Wing that he put a bunch of experience tokens on to take out Luke, but I don't know that for sure yet. Because 5 would be enough, right? 5 doesn't actually kill it. Maybe that's why he didn't want to sacrifice, because Luke would have had 6.
Yes, 4 plus 5 is 9, and that's 6. Yes, he should have had 6 left, and that is 1.
So it turns out I'm just bad at math when it comes to this, and it's not some 4D chess thing.
But still, he could have gone to, if it was already claimed, he could have hit face, right?
I would have expected that, yeah.
Why not?
Yep, okay. So the X-Wing is going to get taken out from that. It's just a matter of the way they laid the cards out confused me for a second. And that makes sense from the Luke side. I still don't understand not attacking base with the Lando, but I guess Bo-Katan doesn't care because she's a massive unit.
Yes. But Luke gets to attack and deal 5 damage to something. which would take Lando out at this point.
That's true. And we've seen at least one Sudden Ferocity still in hand in the Luke players thing. So you could play Sudden Ferocity and then attack base twice and win the game.
So either Lando has some kind of answer in hand, or he kind of has to claim here. And he does.
Oh, interesting.
Claim.
Yeah. So Luke's got a little bit of time just to, honestly, I think I would personally play the Sudden Ferocity out and just say, can you stop me? But
yeah, I'd rather play a unit here.
That's also fair. Give it a little bit more insurance.
Yeah. Any unit is good. And if you put Sudden on it, it gets better.
Yeah.
He did go to 7 resources, so he could play that. It looks like a.
I think I see Black One and Falcon. Yeah.
Yeah, Falcon is coming down. No.
Well, maybe.
The
Clown Car Falcon might show up. I wonder what's in Lando's hand. Because claiming with that many resources open tells me you're kind of desperate for an answer, right?
We knew he had that Mandalorian and a Fireball.
Oh, that's right. It's not Liberty, I guess, is really the important part of that.
So he needs to draw into either Liberty or something that can take care of the Luke unit. And there's not a whole lot that can take care of the Luke unit.
Lost and Forgotten would probably also help, though I don't know that it would save him completely, because, you'd heal 3 and you'd take out the Falcon.
19. He'd survive one. Yeah, he would survive from Lost and Found here, but that's not what he found. So
it was not found
one. Or because you can't take the risk that he's having some kind of boost here. He could have trench run or aggressive negotiations. Either would be fine. He just needs to boost that for how much? First. If I don't have the boost, I'd attack with the Falcon first.
Luke would be effectively at 20 right now and be threatened by Bo-Katan plus Yaddle, and would not have had to claim the previous turn. So it's an interesting. I wonder what happened there. I wonder if it's just overlooked it, or if there was a reason behind it that I'm not seeing.
Yeah, exactly. That's sort of baffling me as well.
So it could just be a play mistake, and it's one of those. It's early enough in the rounds that it won't burn him for too bad.
No, and I mean, he's obviously won the first. Chris has, so. Taking a game loss here isn't that bad.
No, I agree. And I didn't see anything that is out of my expectation range for what Lando Blue is playing right now. And we all know that's a solid deck. So sometimes you just got to get to the point where you can let the cards do the work for you.
Yeah, and Lando is actually quite good into space decks because of all the restore.
Yeah. Yep, that's a good point too.
They might not be able to contest the space lane early on, but they can restore. Often they can restore enough and kill with some event removal enough to just hang in there until they can get to Liberty. And
I call that strategy the restore and ignore.
Yeah, exactly. And they can usually do that quite efficiently.
Yeah, blue is very good for that kind of thing. So one of the other decks I've been running just for fun lately is Boba Blue. And you can do something very similar where you play a restore 1 unit on top of a restore 2 unit later on. And it's a similar strategy to fight against a lot of these pilot decks that are floating around. And I think Luke might be the best anti-pilot deck. So this is probably the one you're going to see the most of.
Luke Yellow especially, it is so good into other space decks. You have the possibility to do something like 23 damage on flip turn in one go. That is just stupid. Like,
that's combo potential.
Yeah. Like, if they get to do 23 damage on flip turn, there's not a lot you can do about that then.
Yeah, just imagine being in a 27 or 25 health base with that. It's like, oh, no.
Yeah. Right.
All right, so I don't even have any idea what to start predicting for sideboards to come in. I guess from the Lando side, if Lost and Forgotten isn't in the main deck, it probably has to come in.
And Retaliation could be.
Retaliation's a good call there too.
One. It's a really good one. If they've got something like Oven Loss or something in the side deck, could be interesting. They might be playing that. Other than that, they looked pretty well teched to handle space decks.
Yeah.
In main deck.
I think that last one just got a little bit away from them, but the deck has shown that it can hang. So.
For the Luke deck, he might not be running collateral damage in main deck, but that's a card that is certainly
I do
a
like that
good
card too, yeah.
consideration.
A little bit of extra reach in some cases,
yes.
or helping take 2 units out on the ground.
Exactly.
The ability to interact there with the ground would be useful. Not that they don't have anything, but having more redundancy for that is never a
I
bad
mean,
thing,
the
I think.
yellow deck mainly running the tempo kind of interaction rather than the removal kind of interaction that you see in the green decks. So putting in something like collateral damage could be the way to go.
That is one of
you
my
were talking
favorite
about
cards.
Yeah. It's really good, and it's a bit versatile as well, right?
Yeah.
And then you were talking about the red remove the damage event.
The charge with treason, right?
Yes, that one could also be interesting.
It'd be interesting if there's enough red in the deck. That's a hard one to do sometimes, just because 2 red cards isn't, especially in like a 2-color deck. I've been running it a lot in Revan, which is a 1-color deck, but it's a lot harder to do in a 2-color deck sometimes.
Right. Interesting kind of heal with that one.
Yeah.
Where you get to bounce your own units for heal.
You've got the option, yeah. Which you kind of want healing in this race.
Yeah, certainly.
The timing for Anakin sometimes makes him a little awkward for me, just because it's like you have to do it first action effectively and attack immediately before they get to attack. Otherwise, he's kind of just a 2/4. 2/4 is good for a 2-drop, but he's not a whole lot of special there.
No, yeah. I agree. Inherently.
Right. Cannon's basically looking for 2 drops to bounce. Which, I mean, that's still effective. If you can pop a unit while developing the board on your own. Oof.
Oh, and this is opening him up for that kind of blowout thing. But he has not been able to generate a credit yet, which means Kanan can't come down this turn. He's playing something for 2. That's Yaddle. Putting the restore on. And obviously Anakin is Force, but not Jedi. So he can't.
He gets to basically, by attacking first like that, will prevent the Anakin heal as well.
Right.
Only 1 restore coming down, looks like, for this turn.
And he's guaranteeing to get to do the Luke ping, and
True.
There's a fair amount of good stuff that will come after this.
Yeah, the Han Solo pilot's fantastic for that kind of a play. Just takes the initiative away from the other player, as well as pushing extra damage.
And he's not auto slamming that sudden down, and I could only see 1 card that could even be a sudden down there. So he's definitely not already having 2 suddens in the row.
Right.
And I don't understand why he wouldn't want to have 2 suddens in the row.
My only guess is that waiting to see if Cinta shows up, and maybe if not, you resource the sudden later. But that's the only thing that comes to mind for me.
Yeah, but
yeah,
sudden ferocities on Luke. It's so good. And if you can do that with the Black Squadron and get to attack immediately, you don't even need Cinta.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But Luke is kind of playing the stall game, it looks like, almost a little bit, right? Just let them draw out any plays that they may make before committing to it. Because I think the other answer, like, I see 2 ambush ships, I think it's Blue Ace, and I think I see Fireball.
Yeah.
And
he's playing the Fireball. No, sorry, that's the Blue Ace. Yes, he's playing the Blue Ace. I like Blue Ace in this deck. It's still a 4-cost unit. If you attack with it first, you don't care. Ooh, that was one
a Liberty gets milled there.
Yeah, not what you want to mill. You want to draw that.
That's the drawback to it. Ooh, Jam Communications coming down.
And that's going to take. All 3 of those cards are good, but I think he's going to take the sudden, right?
I think I would take the Commence the Festivities.
You would.
And the reason for that is if he does have a Liberty in hand and the 1 didn't matter.
Right.
The Sentinel will get in the way, whereas Commence the Festivities says, I don't care about your Sentinel.
Yeah, so that's true. Fair.
That is it's a very good card, and we're starting to see a lot of it played now that the Sentinel spam is starting to, or I guess for a while there, Sentinel spam was a thing, but it's starting to slow down a little bit, partially because of that card.
Yep. And he's still not resourcing that sudden immediately. He's even considering resourcing the Beguile instead. And that's what he's doing.
I think it's going to end up just being a race. Like, hello, can you keep up?
Yeah.
Blue ace first. Oh, there's a good reason. Okay, that makes sense for commenced festivities as well.
Yeah, taunted is really good here. This means that Lando deck is playing both taunt.
4,
The other one.
7, some number. I don't remember anymore.
Some number, something big. The 5/7 Sentinel that creates a token.
Yeah,
and he's also playing Liberty. We already seen that, and we get a sudden ferocity on the blue ace. Will that be enough to do 740?
Should do 7 damage.
Yes,
so.
but it will die in the process.
It will. It's a little bit unfortunate for the Luke player, but that's probably something like that is why sudden ferocity in hand is being saved just in case.
Right, I guess. Yeah. And Luke will save the Naboo fighter from being killed by the token still.
Yep, that's true. The other interesting thing about having to play the sudden ferocity right now is that currently I can't see quite what's in hand, but Luke doesn't actually have a target to flip onto.
Right.
So
that's
an interesting problem to have to deal with here shortly.
Yeah. So even if he does have a Synth, which I don't think he does in the row, I didn't see a Synth there, and I don't see one in his hand either.
Yeah, I don't either.
He's in a predicament here. Was that a red 5 or a blue leader?
I believe it would be red 5.
Yeah, I'm not too good on the prestige arts.
Oh yeah, that's fair. I think it was a red 5.
Yeah, that makes sense to resource it. I kind of agree with resourcing that.
As long as there's another option to flip onto. Luke may just be going to go to the ground in this one. We'll see.
Kind of have to, maybe.
Ooh, the tree remembers and one goes down. Oh no.
Yeah. And this is why it is risky to build on small units against blue decks.
Yep, that is something to keep in mind. That being said, I mean, that N1 plus Han has pushed 15 damage, and while 2 of it was restored, that's a lot of damage to be put on base from a 2-drop unit. So,
yeah.
You know, there are definitely worse things to have happen.
Yep, certainly. But board state-wise, even though this is flip turn for Luke, he is not looking too strong here.
The good news, though, is that Lando has also got A, no credits, and B, is unable to play an 8 or 9 drop that they typically want to play on flip. They have to play it next turn at the earliest. So,
yeah,
it's not great on the board state, but it could totally be worse.
Yes.
So
there is Black Squadron, which means that Yaddle leaves the board. And Lando can't do anything too quick here because he needs to create a credit before he can do anything else, which will leave him with only 1 open resource.
Does Anakin bounce the unit that attacked or himself?
Yeah, the unit that attacks.
Okay, so Yaddle got bounced then, and that's why the extra restore came in. That makes sense.
Right.
All right, so Lando's got the credit, doing all the things. Lando's going to go ahead and flip, add 4 more damage and some more credits to his pile here. This is a pretty good spot to be in for Lando, but we all know that a Luke flip can absolutely flip the board here really quickly.
Yeah, and we do see Laura is delaying his flip. Sorry, her flip, just to be able to do the big thing with Luke, but with no sudden in the row and no synth in the row.
Game ending
some kind of
here.
Event. I can't tell which event that is. A lot of text on it.
Yeah, interesting. There's no resource from Luke this time, so we're staying at 6.
No. That's commence the festivities.
Oh, I see it now. Yeah, so
and that's why he's not resourcing.
Well, flipping Luke,
she's not resourcing.
Yeah. Well, flipping Luke into the Black Squadron, attacking this turn effectively presents lethal next turn.
Right.
So
Indeed.
that's pretty scary.
Yeah, always. But we're not seeing this deck do any of that combo-y stuff that we were talking about.
Not yet, but kind of hoping we do. A flip into attack now would be 9 damage, so put them at 18. And as far as I can tell, it's 1 short. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's 1 short with the commence the festivities buff there on the next turn, just if it happens. So
yeah. He does not get to attack immediately. This is why Laura is not too keen on putting the suddens there, because she doesn't know how this interaction works. So The Black Squadron does not trigger from flipping your leader onto it because the leader isn't played, and it's when
the leader
played
is deployed.
Yeah, it's deployed. So this is actually they're not doing it right here, and she wouldn't be getting that +1 either from the Black Squadron. So this is a play mistake. I'm not sure we can do anything about it because I don't think we have it.
I'm not sure either at the moment, but it is an
Yeah.
interesting distinction in the rules that people who are
Yeah.
playing Luke should be aware of, that
Yes.
deploying your leader is not the same as playing an upgrade on a unit. It is
Right.
attaching one, I believe is the term, but maybe I'm wrong on that one too. But
No, that's correct. That's correct. And that's why you have to have the sudden ferocities in the row
Yeah.
to be able to get that immediate attack off.
that is correct.
So she's misunderstanding some of the interactions here, that
Which is a fair misunderstanding too, you know.
Sure, absolutely.
Totally understandable, but something to be aware of.
Definitely. 100%. And we do get the Death Squadron skirmisher to tap down Anakin, so he can't heal.
That's Luke's father. Thank you.
Yes. Yes. From the images on the card, you can't tell, but yes.
Yeah, they look just like each other.
Looks like we actually have contact with someone.
I guess the Lando player would have gotten to react to Luke flipping onto the Black
Yes.
Squadron, but I think
there's not that much
is
that
too
can.
good,
there's not that much that can be played that can do anything about Luke specifically on a big ship that hasn't attacked yet. So we do have a judge here coming in.
Yeah, so something to keep in mind. The only other play that I can see that would change the turn, and it's not a lot, is if the Lando player attacked with like Anakin first and then popped Anakin back to hand to heal an extra 2.
Yes.
That might be the biggest difference in the board state right now.
Right.
However,
yeah,
I don't know that does much.
Exactly. And the Lando player indeed did claim without spending any resources. So maybe the Lando player would have had time to actually play something.
It's true. So it could, without knowing any more information, it could have gone a different way, but it's actually still hard to tell.
Yes. But we do have a judge on it right now, and they're trying to resolve it. It looks like they're not doing that much different. They took damage off of because nothing is presenting lethal in 1 here.
True. That is true. And even commence the festivities won't really end the game, especially if Liberty can come down and exhaust the Black Squadron. But I don't know. Lando's running a little bit out of it.
Because if he draws into sudden, that's +4 on the Black Squadron. How much
damage
damage
a fair
would
point,
that
actually.
be? That's 4 + 4, that's 8. That would be 12. That he's still 1 off then.
Until they play commence the festivities. But yes.
Yeah, but he can't do both.
That's true. You can't do it in one action. It would take a couple actions.
Yeah.
Oh, I see what you mean. Because the Black Squad. I see what. Yeah. I'm tracking now. I'm here. I know what's going on.
These board states tend to be quite complicated.
Yeah.
It's been my experience in testing for this set and in playing some of the tournaments that we do get more complicated board states, at least early on in this set. Because
I generally agree.
Yeah, because of how much units kind of stay on the board.
I kind of like it. Not kind of. I'm actually a big fan of that. I like where the game is going at the moment. Now, there are some complaints about certain decks that I have that I would like to see a few more stronger things in their curve, but that's just because I like those decks. I think the direction they're taking that with like the more impactful decision making on every turn, basically, that's a fantastic thing in my opinion. So
yeah, I agree. It really rewards good players, which is generally a good thing.
Agreed. All right, so just surprise strike from Lando here. No.
Right.
Oh, there's the Liberty.
There is the Liberty.
I would be shocked if it wasn't Luke.
Yep. He does indicate that he wants
is very
Luke
tired.
Down. Yeah. And he's got 7 standing power that could slam into the Liberty, which would do the trick for next round. But that means he's got some time, and the Luke base is already on 22. Lando,
Yep.
with the help of Anakin, will bring it to 28.
That might
And
be an argument for Luke to just attack with one of the two ships, but that does leave him very vulnerable to a claim from Lando.
Right. And he
Oh
does
yeah,
attack
that
with
thing's got
the...
saboteur. I forgot about that.
Mhm. Yeah, it does. The K-Wing does have saboteur.
So that's an interesting problem now for Lando. Do you just claim? Because Luke plus commence the festivities is actually lethal now.
But Luke's
I believe,
doesn't
right?
have a saboteur.
Commence the festivities would give it saboteur.
Oh, yeah. But
and a
does the
+2
Lando
buff,
know
which is
that?
not quite enough.
Lando doesn't know he's got a commence in hand.
You're probably correct. Probably doesn't know, but it's one of those things that I'd start thinking about if I was Lando.
Yeah, he's seen a commence. He did discard it.
Yep. But also, I math wrong. It looks like Luke would be one short even with commence the festivities. So Lando's safe to attack technically, but might not be a bad thing to just claim and say, okay, Liberty wins it for me.
Yeah, you could also just attack with Luke, bring it to within lethal of any of the two, I'm thinking. But no, yeah.
Looks like, yep, Luke is going to claim the
Now
initiative.
you might want to
and
bounce
Lando's
Luke. Sorry, Anakin. You might just bounce Anakin here to be safe, but he's not. He's
I
playing
think
something.
because Anakin isn't the first thing to attack, he can't bounce it. But
Oh yeah, right. Yeah, only if
it's a condition I always forget about, so I remember it now because I've made the mistake enough. Safe, which is a smart play in my opinion.
Right, I agree. I don't see Luke's hand at all, so I wouldn't know how much damage he could put out now. But I doubt he could do 11.
I don't know that we have a card that says bounce the biggest thing on the opponent's field and buff your damage by 3. So
no, he's
until we get that card, I think Lando's got this one.
Yep, scooping it and going to game 3 here.
All right.
Yeah,
Lando's showing that he can contend, and I really like this Luke deck too.
Yeah.
This is gonna be interesting. We got about, if I'm tracking correctly, some 15 odd minutes left in the round. So while Luke is a fast deck and Lando isn't exactly playing slow, it's interesting that it's taking all the way to game 3 and possibly towards the end of the round.
Yeah. I mean, I've seen some Lando on Lando violence, and that takes a while.
That probably does. You have to figure out which Lando are you milling?
Yeah. Oh, always the other, I think.
You have to figure out what they're trying to mill first, though.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because if you guess wrong and they flip the wrong thing, it's like, oh no, now I'm behind in the credit generation game.
Right. Which is also an argument for not playing the tentative that he's playing, because it's white.
Oh, that's a good point. Yeah. Well, he might be called. I think if I'm remembering the times that Lando has pulled off of the top of the deck, I think all of them have been heroism. So I think this is a heroism based Lando deck.
Oh, he's calling heroism, so that's fine then. Yeah.
So I think, and Tantive probably actually, now that I think about it, reinforces that idea because it's a safe one to mill. Now, I do believe that there are there's some schools of thought here that it's okay to have, I don't know, maybe 4 cards in the deck that aren't your preferred.
Kind of the same thinking you had with for a course in the
exactly.
Index.
You don't want too many, but having more than one is probably okay.
Yeah. But probably you don't want to run like 6 if you got like 3 tentative and 3 liberty. But if indeed he's doing heroism instead, he's probably fine.
Yeah, that's my guess.
But he did run tree, and tree is not heroic, right? Yeah,
that's true. It's probably a sideboard card for specifically Luke. So cheating aspect, I don't know even what you call it, out of Lando aspect, maybe that saboteur.
The K-Wing
went down, and what else have we got? I'm guessing
that
was
looks
like a big aisle, but yeah. It's very, very quick, but understandable decision there.
Yeah. And he's playing in the Boo Fighter, I think.
Yep, that's the N1, the 3-2, and oh, that's a good start for Lando.
That's perfect stat for Lando. If he can play another If he can play, no, he can't because he can't do the Lando ability when he paid 2 for Yaddle here.
Correct.
Otherwise,
So it's just
Kanan
playing the
on,
long game.
yeah, just putting Kanan down next to that like he did the first game he's going to be quite backbreaking.
Yes, it is. We got 3 to base, and then Yaddle will
3
just
to
even it
base.
up and put everybody at 2.
The ping goes on to Yaddle, of course,
That makes
and
sense.
now they have to kind of spend resources. We get a mill
Yep.
from the.
So that
from the
being
dam.
heroism, I think reinforces what our initial
Yeah.
suspicions were there, and then red 5
think
coming
you're
down
right.
is a great one for Luke.
Perfect for Luke there.
Oh,
It
and there's
means
no
he can
play
take
for
a
Lando.
no play. Oh, that's bad because Yaddle will die this round. If
Yaddle will get one more attack in, but yep, that's
right, yes.
not a good sign, I think, for Lando.
Nope.
Unless he's got something that costs 5 that can come in and be like, all right, save the day.
He could just play Kanan and bounce red 5.
I think Kanan can only bounce the Naboo fighter because of the lack of other colors. Yeah.
Yes.
But even
yes,
then, it's still good. It's just not
still
quite
good.
as good.
No.
Ooh, blue ace comes down and takes care
better.
of the day. Yeah, that's
better.
a good play. All right, yeah,
Saving
that
Yaddle.
was probably a good claim then by Lando not playing anything.
Yep, very much so. That means he might even have had a play. He just prioritized being able to do this when he saw the red 5.
Yep, it's a fantastic point. Red 5 can get
Mm.
really dangerous if left alone. So
Yeah,
I believe that was a great play there.
Yep.
Ooh, we see an R2 and we see lost it.
That's Han coming down on the Naboo fighter, going for 5-2 base, I assume.
It looks like base. Imagine if that was red 5. Han Solo on red 5 is devastating to that board state.
That is scary. Yeah. And this is not the Naboo fighter. This is it is the Naboo fighter. So
yeah, there's 2 Naboo fighters right now, which is confusing.
So Blue Ace will be able to trade with this next round.
I believe Blue Ace only does 4, and since Han Solo is a 2-3, the N1 should have 5. But it's
right. Yes. You're right.
Yeah. So okay, N1 Naboo Starfighter and Naboo Security Forces. Like it's totally not confusing at all, guys. There's a Bravo. Okay. Thank you. It's an N1. Look at that.
There's the 2-3 with the Saboteur.
Yep. I can never remember the name of that one. It's a Naboo fighter in my head.
Yeah,
those things are really cool.
They look very similar. So we get.
It's not confusing. It's fine. But
yeah.
There's a lot of answers that Lando can have here.
For sure.
Especially ones that cost 4. Yeah.
True remembers.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. And now he's down to a 2-cost.
Yeah, and Blue Ace can just clean that up, and Lando's probably in a good spot. Yaddle doing a lot of work here. Like that's the 3rd restore, I believe.
Yep. It will cost him the Blue Ace. Jamcom is going to take care of that. Yes.
Yep.
Indeed. You're not getting to have a hyperspace disaster.
Yeah, but knowing there's a Liberty coming isn't exactly
No, not too much fun.
Yeah, it's not something that you really like to see, I guess, if you're the Luke player.
No, it's only got 7 damage on that base. We're going into flip turn.
Oh, Saboteur though. So
Yep.
that could be all right.
That's a nice one. It's a 4-3, so it's not.
I believe it's 4-5.
Is it 4-5? Right. Oh, okay. That's the blockade runner, right?
Yeah.
The new yellow blockade runner.
That at least makes the Liberty a little less, I wouldn't say threatening because it's still threatening, but it's a little less
No, Lando needs to have some other answer for it. And he's milling one of those answers. Well, not completely answer, but something that can help.
I think Lando's just trying to get to the late game where he can play big stuff. And
right.
We're getting to that point. It's just a matter of can Luke close the deal on an immediate kind of flip here. And
yeah, I mean,
that's the question.
Luke on that 4-5 would be quite big.
Yep, that is going to be a tough recovery.
Right. So we got the clown car coming down.
Yep, I think Lando's feeling pretty confident in this board state. given that Liberty is also in hand.
Yeah. Flipping, getting resources. It doesn't need to spend any of it right now. He's just
Woof. That
gonna
is
be able to take it
that is
nice and slow.
a bit of an unlucky turn for the Luke player here. I think
Yeah.
it was a pretty safe flip for the most part. You kind of had to just rely on them not drawing another hyperspace disaster, but
Exactly. Having pulled
unfortunately,
one already.
unfortunately, when you're playing cards against Lando, sometimes the cards are just going to work for him.
Yeah. I mean, he is the card player in the unit.
No, it does not, especially with the Liberty making an appearance.
Yeah. So Syntha for 6 here is not ideal.
Yeah, I love Liberty. Back in the day, I used to play Armada a bunch, and Liberty's one of my favorites.
Right. Now, this is not looking good, and we do have a scoop there. Yeah. Well, Lando did turn out to be very good into these kind of space decks, but I also think that Laura wasn't playing Luke to the best of his abilities here. I think this Luke deck is capable of more than what we saw here.
I think so too, and I don't know if it was just the hand or the inexperience a little bit with some of the combo plays, but I think loading up some of the 2-drops is very dangerous against blue-yellow in particular, but blue in general, because of things like the Tree Remembers, because of things that can blue-yellow, especially with Kanan, can kind of just pop a 2-drop back, and so it's like,
there's so many interactions that are going to punish that kind of play.
Oh, cool.
So we are going to change tables and look at the backup table. Who is playing there? Do we know? At least they're going into game 3 here, as far as we've been informed.
It's like Talzin yellow and Lando blue.
Yeah, Carlos Apodaca, I believe, to the left then. And then we have, who was that on the right? Robert is playing Talzin blue. Sorry, Talzin yellow. She is blue. Talzin yellow. I think this would be very favored in Talzin's direction.
I generally agree because Talzin is such a good board control thing. However, if Lando can get over the top, Talzin can only answer so many bombs, I think.
True.
It's a little hard to completely give it to one. It kind of depends on the game state and the game flow here.
For sure. But Talzin ability is going to be able to make those trades always count.
That is true.
Just grabbing the board state early on and running away with the game. It can be really fast.
Yeah. And I'm not sure what Talzin does it. Do you think Talzin goes for the board control and tries to kill Ezra this turn? Or do you think just keeps playing? I guess Lando's
2 damage on base is not going to matter that much at this point. Being able to
have Shinhadi coming down
though. There's very little time left in the round, so that could be one of the reasons why you want to try and go fast to base here. But again, 2 damage on base might not be enough to matter.
This is starting to look like a board state that Lando really wants to see, you know?
Right, yes. Normally you would see kind of the opposite kind of board state here. Tree Remembers taking out that
Shinhadi ran right into a tree.
Yeah. She ran into a tree, So now we're on 5 resources. This is where all the ambush starts happening.
Yep.
Taking
Stranger coming down, showing why he's a good unit.
And Ezra can't even trade with them.
Nope. Ezra can put damage on them and make him bigger if he really wants to, but I don't see why you do that.
Seems counterproductive to me, but I think Carlos is a little bit more skilled than that.
he was considering it for a second. No.
And this is also flip turn, so this is when the magic starts happening.
I think he knows that Ezra's dead regardless, but it looks like this is a blue base Lando because that is a lost hand. So this could get interesting depending on what's in the Talzin hand. Like I know when I'm playing Yellow Villainy, I love to play the card Hold for Questioning for a Lando flip but I don't know if it's in this Towson deck, and I don't know if it'll be enough because sometimes they're holding 2 bows and a Liberty, and it's like, well, which one do you get rid of?
Right, exactly. But neither of these units are within striking distance for that kill from the bow when played. Both of them are above that. And he's holding 6 resources back here for potentially another big ambush, something like Finn or the new one, can't remember the yellow unit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my brain isn't working either. It's okay.
Not Lando, but make it so that it has to trade.
Actually, Finn would because of the Towson ability earlier.
Oh yeah,
So
yeah,
Finn would do
yeah.
6 to him, and
Already
that would help.
shrunk him. But this is even better, I think, just shrinking in this way while keeping the board state.
I think he would have probably preferred Finn,
think?
partially just because it does remove one of the things from Carlos's board, because Bo-Katan is still going to be a monster you have to take care of, but this is a good alternative. Keeps all your board your units on the board while Bo-Katan is going to do Bo-Katan things here shortly.
Yes. He's considering, this is Robert on Talsin, he's considering where to go here, but he does indeed trade with Finn. Just putting 1 damage on Finn to make it so that after he gets big again, he still can't trade with anything.
I think this is a spot that Lando wants to be in, and we know Carlos is an excellent player. So like, I think this is that's true.
Oh, sorry, from basically anything is Finn was the one I was thinking about.
Oh, it was about a turn too late to hold for questioning.
Yeah, hold for questioning showing up eventually, and
ooh, look at that hand! 2 Rhydonians, an Anakin, and a Liberty. What do you pick out of this one?
Can he take anything?
Because Lando's heroism
yellow.
And
heroism. He can Liberty. He can take Liberty.
No, I believe he cannot take the Anakin. Actually, so
Anakin
like the only
be able to. Yellow and heroism. Yeah.
Yeah.
And those are Rhydonium.
Yeah, the return. You pick 1 unit, a non-leader unit to return to your hand, and everything else dies.
Yeah,
I think it's all non-leaders though.
Yeah. They can't touch leaders.
Which might be what comes down right now. Maybe not.
No. Yes, exactly. Well, I think that's a fair play. You're still saving yourself some damage here.
Yeah,
and that's
I believe it's also saving.
It's
saving Bo-Katan, but Bo-Katan got taken care of anyway. That looks like it might be a fancy Shatterpoint.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's the from the event. No, it's the event pack.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, and this is a very interesting board state. This could go either way.
I don't know that I would say either of them are completely winning or losing this particular round.
Right. And with so little time left, it might just go to time.
That's also true. I don't know that one of these could win in the amount of time that is remaining.
I think time might have been called here. Our clock says so. It doesn't necessarily line up with the event clock. Rhydonium disaster will make sure that no such thing will happen.
Yeah.
There is... No, it has to go to hand. It has to go to hand, yes.
Yep.
So he has to pick it up.
And now if he just plays Anakin, then Lando does almost no damage.
Exactly. I think Carlos is just making sure that this is a draw. But shield, no?
I believe...
Only two. Shield, no?
I believe...
Only two, yeah.
And I believe that is the end of the round. He just killed Lando out of spite.
Why not? So
man.
we do have a draw between Carlos Abadaccia and Robert something.
Yes.
So we will go on a short break and then we'll return with round number 3. So we are back. My name is Victor from the Nordic Takedown, and with me from the Cantina crew, we've got Sharky. How
Hey,
are
hey,
we? How are we doing tonight?
doing fantastic. I'm excited to see this Enfys deck actually in action.
Yeah,
So
me too. We've got
this will be
Loopy on,
fun. I don't know
right?
how consistent it is. Obviously, he's won a couple games, but
This would be a really 50-50 matchup, but I'm not familiar with it enough.
uh, so what's interesting to me right now is the discussion on Talzin of which is the better color, red or yellow. That
Mm-hmm.
tends to be where the discussion is focused around, and I can see
Yeah.
arguments both ways. Talzin red will have a lot of answers to the upgrades that are floating around. So like System
Right.
Shock main, as
Yeah.
well as a lot of the credit hate stuff. Like you can play Arvel in the main if you really want to, or in the sideboard. And
Mm-hmm.
so those are two ways to combat a lot of the common. I don't know if I want to call them meta decks before the meta is too established yet, but that's when some of the reasons to run red. And it's
Mm.
interesting because I do know that this at least most of the Enfys yellows I've seen are trying to throw at least a couple of upgrades onto things, whether it's a pilot, whether it's a
The
um,
helmet.
yeah, helmet, just something to add some extra damage for on attacks. And
Mm-hmm.
so it'll be interesting to see if Talzin can combat that uh with the red base here. And I believe that the top end also of the red tends to outweigh the strength of the mid game of the yellow. So those are arguments in favor of red as well.
Am I reading this right? But is that the force red base? I think, but
That
it
is,
looks to
yes.
me like he's splashing some yellow cards in there, or am I just seeing that wrong? Yeah, I
It
am.
kind of
That
looks
was
like,
not. Yeah, no,
yeah,
that's the
artifact
yeah,
of the camera there, or
yeah,
the sleeves.
yeah, one or the other.
Because that was a constructed lightsaber, I believe we saw
Yeah,
there, and
it was.
it was
Yeah,
very yellow looking to me too. So I see what you
it
saw.
it looked to me like it was a yellow ship of some sort first, but that would have
Oh,
been
yep, yep. I can totally see that.
very, very weird without the splash base.
One of the things that Talzin Red can also do is pop a sudden ferocity onto Talzin when she flips, and then the next turn give her a
Mhm.
constructed lightsaber or some other kind of red upgrade that says, "Deal with me or die."
Yes, and it can be so
So
fast at that point. The
yeah,
tempo of that is just insane.
yep,
I think like the main argument for the yellow version is how well it can deal with some of the really strong ground-based decks that we've seen so far. But
100%.
the Talcin Red, I think, has more options, more versatility.
I could see that. In fact, I generally agree as well, and I think the Talzin Red, the versatility is one that stands out. Like I said, I think the top end, like if you're running all the way up to Devastator, that is a
Mm.
fantastic card too. So I think that's where the strengths of red lie, whereas
Mhm.
the yellow one is very strong in the up. I would call it upper mid range of the metagame part. Like 4,
Yeah,
5, and 6 are all pretty dang strong for both of them, but the
incredible.
yellow one probably edges it out due to Stranger and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah, agreed. Now we will get to see how well it works. Loopy starting with initiative and then the
We've
Boo
seen a lot of
Fighter.
the N1 today.
Yeah, we have. Karis is probably the best start for any Talcin deck.
Yep. Yep. I would agree there too.
Just be
Now,
sure to get the Force almost certainly and have that really good when killed ability. We do see a no disintegrations in the hand of our Talcin player.
yep, that'll be interesting if they get desperate to deal with the N1 to notice integrations on it, but I don't know if they're going to be that desperate.
Feels like too much desperation for
Yeah.
me.
Yeah, and we see a Thousand Assassin in hand, and I believe that's probably the plan for how to deal with it.
Much,
But
much more
yeah.
reasonable. Also, be able to just kill the red 5 with it
Yep.
together with the Talcin ability.
We have
Seems good to me.
a pretty, what I would say, typical start for both of these decks. Like when I saw
Yes.
Loopy play this, he wanted these two ships, and when you play Talzin, you want to go Karis into Grand Inquisitor, or that's all I can
Yeah.
really think of in terms of force units you want on that turn. So that is
Yeah.
we're getting a good example of what these decks can do.
Right, right. There's no damage on any of these units, so at this point the red 5's on attack is not online.
Yep.
And
But
we
we do
do
see
see
Talzin reduce the red 5's attack.
yes,
So
because he can't kill it in one. I agree with this play.
I agree too.
And you don't wanna show your hand just yet because you don't know what's coming down.
And the other part is it's safe to do it because you're probably going to get the force back. So you can then
Right,
play Talzin's
exactly.
Assassin here in a second.
Exactly. So we're paying 3 to do, really nice,
Ooh.
Beguile.
At least he knows
Very
it's
good
coming.
play from Loopy.
Yep.
But we
Looks
do
like
have
a
the assassin
Shadow.
there. We do have Shatterpoint. We do have emergency powers, which could be very devastating at the wrong end of it. But knowing it's in the hand, it's very important.
Agreed. It's very interesting to see what that hand is too, because that's really dangerous for a lot of things Loopy's trying to do.
Yeah. So now we get the force back with Karis. 2 damage to base.
Yeah, and while 4 damage doesn't look that threatening compared to what Enfys is able to put out, because by the end of this turn, Talzin will be at 8. I have a feeling we're gonna.
Definitely
Oh
the
yeah,
solo
I can
Darkness
see it.
unit.
Yeah, they do look a
Yeah.
little similar, don't they?
Mhm.
Big cubes and stuff on the art.
Yep. I think this, though, is a much better play because credits won't do him much good at this point.
True. I also believe that Loopy's intent may have been to draw out the Shatterpoint as opposed to
Oh, he's not dying here, is he? Why?
the Shatterpoint will get it because of
Oh,
the force.
Shatterpoint. He
Yeah.
played the Shatterpoint instead. Oh,
Yep.
yeah. That's sensible.
I believe that threat was to draw out the Shatterpoint, but
Yeah.
maybe I'm misreading it.
No, that's probably correct. It's just, there were too many dangerous cards in that opponent in difficult decisions, right?
Yeah. And
That's how
so
you make opponent in difficult decisions, right?
yeah. And
That's how
so
you make them do the mistakes.
let's see what plays he's got here. He's got 5 resources open. Yeah, it should be an interesting one because there's a couple of options I think that Talzin has, and I don't know that Talzin is extremely worried yet because
No.
being even going into this flip, which is a lot of times where emphasis power shows up,
Yep.
is probably feeling pretty good.
Yeah, and apparently he since he's not using carries at this point, he might be looking to use, exactly,
Yep.
the
That's a
assassin
good call.
here, and he is the Naboo fighter are already attacked, so he is shrinking Emphys, but Emphys is getting stronger with the helmet. I think that was right.
Ah, yes, that makes sense. So Emphys still has 6 health remaining, even through the -3/-3.
Yeah. And he should have spent the force there when he played the assassins. He wouldn't have the force right now.
That may, I mean, you're correct, but it also may not be relevant as soon as the
Exactly,
1,000
since,
attacks anyway. So,
but it means that he couldn't first shrink it, then flip, and then shrink
yes,
it.
that's a good point.
But they are playing as if though he didn't have the force. So
Yeah, they're playing it correctly. It looks like.
Yeah, exactly. He just didn't show it with the token.
And we see just everybody running into each other's base here, which is a
straight race.
It's an interesting race. I'm not actually sure how it's going to play out, partially because Talzin is building a board that's starting to be pretty threatening, and Enfys's
But
board is
that
significantly smaller.
Yes, but that Emphys is getting very tall.
Yeah, it's true. Let's see. Now that there's no more Talzin's assassin effect, we have a 6/9 Enfys nest, which is a massive threat.
That is something.
Technically, if they just bash each other in the base for this turn, Enfys is threatening, I think, lethal next turn. So
yes,
that'll
it
be.
will be. But then I don't know if Fighter is going to live that much longer.
True. Oh, we have an aggressive negotiations though.
And that is.
That appears to be 9 damage.
Yeah. What is this?
I'm not 100% sure what that's
here?
from. But +3/+0 from
That's
the helmet.
arm
Yeah,
attack from
twice.
the helmet.
Oh my
yes.
God. That's
He is
amazing.
threatening lethal here.
He is threatening lethal, which
Yes.
means that he has to use his cards to deal with it, which I think he'll have cards to deal with it, but the threat there means that Enfys probably survives.
Yes. So Shatterpoint will be, because at this point he would have got the force back when he attacked with Talzin last turn. So it's correct. He did have the force there.
Yep.
And he didn't need the force either because
only 2 health. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. What does Loopy do? Does he have a way to keep keep Enfys Nest alive through an assault of what looks to be effectively 10 damage because of Kara? Oh, yeah. Maybe even more than that, because Karas can do the -2, then the assassin, then Taliesin herself, they can all trade into Enfys, I believe.
Yes, she's at 9 health, but they
Yeah.
can deal more than that with
Yeah,
the
the proper
shrinking.
sequencing can kill Enfys. It's a matter of can you play another threat that says, well, if I have an aggressive negotiations, I win.
Right, exactly. But he needs 6 more damage, right? No, yeah,
He needs
7
7.
more damage.
Yeah.
Is there 7 damage units that he can play on 6? No, there is not.
Not really. So if he plays like an N1, right? Oh, there's Karis.
Oh,
That's interesting
Karis.
too.
It's
I was
very
thinking like
good.
so an option would be an N1 in space, right? Then
Trading with
then you
that.
could do aggressive negotiations. But yeah. Okay, so
And
Karis goes down.
Loopy has already claimed, I guess. No?
I don't
No, he
believe so.
couldn't.
So
He
he
couldn't.
played.
He couldn't have. So he,
Yeah.
if he's got red units, can he trigger Karis at this point? It looks like not.
It may not matter because Karis, the force unit Karis attacked into Enfys instead.
Yeah. Shrinking it and
Yep.
dealing 2.
Yep.
Right. Yeah, because you don't want Loopy to be able to do 2 more damage at this point.
Right. We're running into what do you do territory. That Loopy
Right.
seems to be asking the questions, and it appears that the Taliesin player is able to at least answer a few of the questions, but
Right. Yes. Taking. It looks like he's taking Emphys off the board here.
yep, Enfys
Yeah,
is going
he
down.
is.
So the answer is make Loopy have the aggressive negotiations with Karis Nemec. I'm gonna just call him
Right.
Nemec from now on. It's a lot easier.
Yeah.
Oh, and Nemec
Let's
also
agree
has
to
hidden.
do
That's a
that.
good point too.
Yeah. So, does how many cards is he going to be lethal with an aggressive
If he
negotiations
has,
here?
he would need to have 4 cards on top of aggressive negotiations. So I don't know that he has
Right.
that. But the other thing to think about though is if he does that and then you kill Nemec and you get a
He
spy,
can't.
and that might
Yeah.
be lethal.
Exactly. He can't. Then he puts Taliesin in a now. Do you have any good sentinels now? Sure, it is a possibility.
Ooh, this is about to get fun.
This is about to get very fun. Loopy's got 6 open resources, and he's still putting it on the assassin.
That
That is
is a big
very
assassin.
ballsy. That's
So
very
that is
ballsy.
also going to be, I think, threatening lethal next turn.
Right.
But I think Loopy has enough actions to be able to play something that says deal with me. Oh, there. Okay, so that's check right there.
Right. Yeah.
And as Taliesin's
You
like,
have to
oh,
claim,
you're so
right?
close. I think you have to because you have no resources, and a claim from Loopy does end it.
Yes.
Yep, that's what happens. Looks like a claim.
Claim from Nicholas.
Well,
And
he's got his hand on the deck, so my assumption is that means
yeah.
it's a claim. He's waiting for
Yeah.
Loopy to play
No,
the.
he's
Oh,
waiting for
jeez.
Loopy.
Yeah, that looks like double
Loopy's
lethal
just
here.
going, yes, please.
Yep. And it looks like there's too many
that's the fist
threats.
bump. Yeah.
I love that.
That was such a good game. That was a blast to watch.
That was fun. It was cool to see because Taliesin was doing a good job of answering many, if not like obviously not all of the threats, but many of the threats that kept popping up. And for a little while there, it looks like Taliesin was starting to turn the corner, but
Yeah.
Loopy just kept playing threat after threat after threat. That
Right.
I love this Enfys deck. It's very aggressive. It's very answer this question. Do you have an answer for it? Okay, cool. Do you have an answer for the next one? How about the next one?
And I mean that's a very good way to play this game. If you're putting really tough questions to your opponent, you make it on them there, and when they slip up, you win.
100%. And this is one of those where I will probably be taking this Enfys deck out for some fun testing later at some point. I'm going to bother Loopy to get the list. I know he's posted it at least one place, I think.
I think I saw a. Oh no, that must have been the sideboard because I saw some Arvins there. So that was
that
was probably the Taliesin sideboard.
Yep,
and
that makes sense.
You would not be putting Arvin Skeen into the deck at this point, I don't think.
I don't think so either. It's still a sideboard card enough because there is a lot of credit generation going around. However, it's not something that it might be getting to the point where it's a main deckable. Like we were talking about earlier, it's a tough one to gauge because Lando is all around right now. And do you really want to throw the first game to Lando and hope he'd win the next one with Arvel? But
Yeah,
We're starting to see those questions.
I think with the stats of Arvel, some decks might really.
When played, ping effect is also fairly solid if
Mhm.
they're doing the credit thing that early. So
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah, for decks that like to ping, and you can ping the base with that. It's actually one of few pings that can really
that's a
be
good point.
burned.
I'd actually forgotten about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I like both of these lists a lot. I think originally when the set came out, I know at least our team and I was pretty much on the Towson yellow train, but I've started to come around to seeing not only is red still solid, but it's probably my preferred color of the two of them right now as
Right.
well.
Of course, it's very meta dependent.
Yeah.
The yellow deck can run Chin Flurry with Vader, which is
True.
super strong
That's
into
a
some decks.
very devastating combo.
Mm-hmm.
But I
yeah,
also just like Towson. Towson's fun.
yeah. No, Talsin's such a good constructed leader. They really built that the right way.
And
I
even
think
without Force Lightning, red is still fun. That's how
yeah,
how,
yeah,
how
yeah,
good
yeah.
that is.
I think we've seen a few leaders that come out the last few sets that have been very well sort of put together. Like they present unique takes on
The top leaders and the quote bottom leaders.
Mm.
It's not that there aren't leaders who aren't as good at, but there are definitely like times where you can easily misread or evaluate certain leaders. Like I think Beckett is a good example. I don't think the
Yeah.
leader is like going to carry you to a world championship, but if you can learn how to play the leader, he can be very rewarding and in the right hands still carry you to something. Like it rewards player skill very much.
Yeah, I mean, I was in London at the Nexus Invitational, and I think I saw a guy that can pilot that deck well.
Yeah, he might have shown up and played there a little bit. Yeah,
Yeah, he did.
he was all right.
He is he's all right.
He's not bad. We may hear his name later in the year, right?
It could be the fact. Yeah, no, it's obviously Betting can play with a pile of leaves and still win, but
Yeah. Hey, leaves are overpowered. Come on now.
yeah, no, yeah.
Uh,
We're going into game 2, and I'm really excited because I think
sometimes what's interesting and fun about this game is that a resourcing decision may come back to bite you later,
yeah,
because
yeah.
of the question being currently answered, and you didn't think about the next question that was coming down the line, or
Oof,
maybe you did and you kept the right thing and it pays off, like
yeah,
that kind of.
yeah.
Or maybe he does want all of them and he's having trouble with it.
I think Nicholas kept that curries for a reason, so I think Nicholas is just going to slam
Yeah.
as soon as he gets to play. But he does have a Mystic in hand as well, I believe. Yep, there is a Mystic as well, and he is slamming that curries, yes.
I do
And
think
we have
Paris
the
is definitely
Nemesis.
the best one. Yeah.
Yeah, and we've got Nemesis on the other side. We'll then create a spy that can trade right back.
Yeah. So it could be worse. Or the spy could just go to base.
Yeah, yeah, either or.
I was thinking like if which Karis kills and dies into Karis Nemec, do you get to do the -2 to the spy? Will the spy be there?
No, because it dies before. It'll tell your opponent to create the spy first, and then you can trigger yours. That will
That's
work,
an interesting
yes.
thought for other ones.
That
And
definitely will work.
Loopy's getting his red 5 out here
Yeah, that's
to go
exactly what he
against.
wants.
Unfortunately
And
for Talzin, who wanted to do Krennic plus thing, there's no thing to go with him.
no, and now we've got 2 sudden ferocities in the row, which isn't ideal when you flip on 5.
Oh yeah, that's true.
He-
Not the greatest draw there,
No.
but we'll see.
We will see. And given that Emphis flips on 5, right?
Yes, emphasis is also a 5.
Yeah, so you can't really delay your flip then.
Ooh, Loopy does not have the disclose for Nemec to get the spy.
Oh, and since there was a shield obviously on Krennic, he doesn't have damage.
Correct.
And perfect answer. Shatterpoint, perfect there.
Oh, and the hauler comes down right after though, so
Yeah,
that
Hauler
feels
is
a little
good,
bit bad for Talzin.
Yeah, Hauler is good here.
Yeah. It's another one of those back and forth early games
Yeah,
that I don't feel
really
like either of
interesting.
them are super advantaged right now.
Not at all. They have arena split here, which might favor Talsin a little bit because both of these decks still need ground in some capacity.
That's true to some extent, though I will point out quickly that Towson generally has trouble with space. So having used
Yeah,
a Shatterpoint already on a space
yeah,
unit to now have to
yeah.
deal with a hauler in space might cause a problem later on.
Yeah, that holder might remain for quite a while.
Yep. It's an interesting chess match here. So does Loopy have another emphasis into helmet plus sudden ferocity kind of turn looking ahead of us, or what do we got?
Who would know?
That's good for Towson though. The restore
Yeah,
might end up helping save a
Beastle
little
could
bit
be
here.
very good here. Doesn't seem like Loopy's plotting anything.
I don't see any plots. He's
No.
playing his cards straight here. No plotting.
Yeah. Talsin has neither used the ability nor any resources. So a lot of actions still. One resource. No resource because of Krennic ability.
Right, yeah. I was like, how did he
Yeah.
not spend it? It's because
No,
of
yeah.
Krennic. That's why.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's a
love Krennic.
very good play. Krennic into Owen Last is such a good play. I used to play Gar Saxon.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a
UCL.
very good one there too.
And that was my found to the range where she
Oh,
can be. And we do have one of the two
Towson's gonna
suddens in
hit
a
for a
row.
lot more now.
Yeah, Alison can finish that emphasis on her own now.
Yeah. I was thinking Witch Caris could also run in and help if needed, but at this point with the sudden ferocity on Mother Towson, that's not
Yeah,
a
it doesn't really
necessary
matter. Yeah,
yeah.
doesn't matter.
I think Loopy
So
knew that too, just
yeah,
using Enfys as a effectively a
kind of a
sentinel or extra hit
yeah,
points on your base kind of thing.
yeah. That's certainly a possibility that's how he's playing this because of now spending 3 for another hauler
Yeah.
does give a very solid space presence here.
So doing some quick math, right?
6, 10, 10. Well, it is favoring Talsin because of the
Yep.
shrink and the restore.
I think it's favoring Towson a little bit, but Towson's also starting behind with 28 and a few less damage. Yep.
More
Yep.
than the other way around.
And the restore plus the hauler there. So we're looking at 19.
Hmm.
As the Towson player, you have to start considering also how much time do I have before aggressive negotiations shows up and just ends the
Yeah,
game.
yeah. But the Talsin player might as well play the aggressive negotiations.
That is true. So that's a good point. I can't, and I do see an emergency powers in there. So that
Mm,
could be one of those break
yeah.
glass in case of emergency kind of situations and just win the game. I see a
He's
constructed lightsaber too.
he's still not spent the resource. So he could put 4 at this point, but it looks like he's considering other options here.
Yeah.
But how far would that get him? Would he be able to present lethal here? Because
That's a good question.
Loopy
Yeah.
is presenting lethal right now.
Yep.
For next turn. But
Ooh,
that is
system shock to remove Han.
system
That's
shot
a
is
good play.
perfect there.
Yep. That's a
Removing
good play.
harm, no more lethal for you. Not that far off though. A aggressive negotiation still there. Oh, so we get
Yep.
the blockade
And it
runner.
does appear that the pivot to space was an intentional design
Yeah,
choice here for Loopy.
certainly. And it
So
might be really hard. We got a saber for Talsin there, but still not enough
I
to
think
put
I'd
in
go
check.
personally with the constructed saber because it does add a lot of damage to Towson. It's effectively 4. So
Yeah,
Towson herself is doing 10.
yeah. But is that enough to put Loopy in check before Loopy
Yeah,
can finish it off?
I think so. Like short of an
Loopy's need
aggressive
2.
negotiations.
Yeah, exactly. Aggressive is going to change everything anyway.
Yeah. So the
And
constructed
it's
would
not like
put.
he's going to be able to clear up that space lane here.
Yeah, exactly.
He just can't.
Yep.
So,
Going
and
for the
he's
same play
spreading
that we
it
were just
out
talking
for
about.
some reason here.
Well, it's
Um,
probably an insurance kind of thing since he doesn't
mm.
want all of the threats to be dealt with immediately.
And there's so
Um,
much tap down in yellow.
yeah,
So,
exactly. Spread
yeah.
the damage out a little bit to make it so that
Mhm.
at least there's lethal in range,
Yeah.
but there
And he's
doesn't
going
seem
to
to be one.
22.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be an immediate like can lose the game in one action kind of play here outside of an aggressive negotiations from Towson though.
Right. And Loopy does have lethal in 3 or showing lethal in 3 actions, right? 19 plus
Yes.
8 is not enough. So without a pump, he needs 3 actions, but he does have a pump.
Yep.
So now he's showing lethal in next action.
Well, the interesting part is that Owen Lars might save Talzin here by restoring 2 and taking him out of lethal there. But if Loopy has another pump, that's game.
Yes. Yes.
This is getting really close here.
Yes. And still, like, Talzin still needs 2 actions to finish off Loopy anyway. So even if he restores now...
For Talzin.
Right.
I don't know that would work, though, because...
Is it enough?
It's not going to quite be enough.
Isn't it? Yeah, because he's going to now go to 27, which is 1 off. So Assassin is just not... It's 1 short of enough.
Just 1 short of saving him.
Yeah,
oh, man.
And he's just showing
the space aggro gets it.
Yeah, the space aggro.
Close.
That's such a good game, because it looked...
That was a great game.
It looked like Loopy was falling behind, but it was not really.
Talzin was playing catch up there. Interestingly enough, Talzin playing spreading the potential damage out to Karis made it so that he was no longer checking Loopy.
Exactly. If he would have put that saber on Talzin herself, he would have been putting Loopy in check. But then, of course, Loopy could have had answers for that.
Yep. So I can understand the reasoning behind spreading it out like that. It was very close there. This is my last round as well. So we're both a whole new crew for everybody to harass when they come in.
You see, that would be platform Jonathan Fisher. So platform from Late Night Gaming and Jonathan Fisher from the Boffin Network. So you're going to be left in very capable hands. With that, I guess we sign off. Please do check out the Nordic Takedown. We have the podcast coming out every week, and Thursdays usually, and we do have deck techs coming up. We just did a really cool deck take on Luke Yellow from the Nexus Invitational with the Inglorious Blasters teams. What have you guys coming out for the Cantina crew? You doing PQ prep? What is
so we're doing a lot of PQ prep, and we've had a few guests on. We had Mickey on last week, and we have actually Alex from Blue Milk Gaming coming on this week. Next week as well. So we love that. And we also, like we said, shout out to the Nordic Takedown. Those guys, you guys are awesome. We love watching you guys.
No, please do check both those channels out, and of course Blue Milk Gaming, Late Night Gaming, and Take the Initiative. With that, I bid you adieu and good night. Seems that they've resourced and are ready to go here. Just waiting for time maybe to start. Then it's not as good, but this deck, it looks like he might not even have a real turn 1 play.
Oh, that's a cool play. Okay.
Yeah. Just getting to shuffle that back in.
Yeah, and get an X-Wing out of that, right?
X-Wing token, yes. So
that's going to be good for Lando. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I can understand where Luke was coming from with that, trying to be like, all right, let's race as fast as we can to get the damage on there. So when Liberty does hit, you get something. But next week's going to muck it up.
Indeed. Generally,
I agree. It'd be interesting to see how Luke handles this.
Mm-hmm.
And
so we do have the death, blah blah blah. That gets
the death space
down.
skirmisher. I got you. I used to run that card in a different deck.
right. And that's exactly the kind of card he wanted to see here. Just get the tempo going, keep up the race, be able to hit for 3 into the Naboo with the Naboo fighter, but not to be.
Just to keep a handle on the game.
Right, yeah. I do think if this is indeed the combo-y version of the deck, he's still in it. He's got a resource that gets boost.
The Black Squadron.
The Black Squadron, right. That's the one, yes. Which is kind of the combo here, if that's what it's trying to do.
Pushes a lot of damage.
Right,
looks like Luke is going to use that ability to keep the X-Wing in check, hopefully knocking it out next turn.
Mm-hmm.
I believe that's what they're planning.
And obviously, since he can't really take out the Death Squadron Skirmisher, he's just going base there.
There we go.
Yeah, that's enough. That's 4/4 that gets to ping up to 2 space units, I believe.
Yep, that's the B-Wing. And that one's actually, some of the decks that we've been messing around with involve playing like they hate that ship on turn 1 and playing a 4 ish drop ship, and that's actually my favorite ship to pull from that kind of a combo. And I
Mhm.
wonder if that combo is also in this Luke deck,
Could be.
or if it's
could
just
be.
the B-wing is good.
Yeah, no, yeah. So he trades out the Death Squadron skirmisher there with the Fireball, which tells me this Lando deck has more space than we're used to seeing from most Lando Blues.
Ooh.
Oh,
And Lando's
and
got
the
the 2
Restore.
restore combo down there. That's going to be
Yeah.
really hard to push the damage through without some kind of bounce or
Yeah.
way to eliminate one of the 2 of those.
Yeah. And I mean, you don't really want to bounce Kanan,
Yeah.
and bouncing bouncing Yaddle is not very impactful. If
Yep.
you're paying 3 for a Beguile to bounce a 2-cost unit, you're not doing that great.
Yeah, it's not the best. So my only other thought as to what they could do. So yellow has most of the bounce interaction. If there's enough red in the deck, you could run Charged with Treason, I believe, and do 5 damage to one of the 2 of them. But the
Sure.
benefit of the green version tends to be air superiority, which helps control
Right.
the ground lane with that
Right.
too. But I don't know what you do else in red yellow.
So what you could do is you could do some of these decks run Sabine unit on the ground to
Okay, yeah.
ambush for 3, just to kill Yaddle mainly,
That makes sense.
because then you can kill it with the Luke ping.
Yeah, it's not the most efficient, but it does get the job done.
It does, and sometimes you can trap players with that if you kind of get them to play, especially like against Virgin's Temple. You can sort of ping first, have them put experience token on Yaddle, and then you ambush in with Sabine, and you sort of put them off force.
Just wipe out the play, yeah.
Yeah. Now we are seeing some damage go to base here, but in a way, Lando is actually ahead on the race somehow.
Oh yeah, Lando's both ahead on the race. It effectively has restore 3 between the 2 units if you sequence it correctly. So Luke has only been able to push 1 damage from the units they have, and I'm wondering how much of this is.
Yeah.
However,
if it's tap down or kill, yeah. So it's and I don't know about playing a blue leader in space without actually ambushing and as a 3/3. Doesn't feel too great, does it?
No.
And we do get another X-Wing token here.
There's a lot of patrols being commenced here.
Yeah, indeed.
That's a lot of getting the same one on that one.
Right. Unfortunately for